Hello and welcome to Coffee Chats. I'm Morgan.
And I'm Sarah, and this is our winter book haul.
First off, I have the Splintered series that is Splintered and Unhinged and Ensnared. And Ensnared just came out on January 6th, so I'm very excited to read it. This is an awesome series. It is kind of a spin on Alice in Wonderland. It follows Alyssa, who is Alice's descendant, and she has to go back to Wonderland and break a curse that has been placed on her family. And it is just a fantastic series. I've read the first two and can't wait to read the third.
So I bought the rest of the Mistborn Trilogy because Morgan got me Mistborn for my birthday, and I still haven't read it. I'm really sorry. But
TBR mountains. They're not even files. It's fine.
But it's high fantasy, which is probably my favorite genre, so I'm looking forward to eventually reading them.
Eventually. Next, I have Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, and this has a movie cover on it. And I picked it up from Book Outlet. I have been meaning to read more Charles Dickens because A Tale of Two Cities is one of my favorite classics, and I'm really excited to get into this soonish.
Our library had a big book sale back in December, and I got to go and get a giant box of books for like $5, and this is one of them that I brought. I only brought two with me just because I couldn't bring them all. It's called Firegold by Dia Calhoun.
Next, I have one of my all-time favorites, which was also purchased during my Black Friday Book Outlet order, as most of these books were. This is the Kite Runner, and I actually initially read this for school in 10th grade, and it is just one of the most amazing novels. I highly recommend it. It's a great place to start with Khaled Hosseini, and I love it.
This is another book that I got at that library sale. It's called Starcrossed by Linda Collison. I'm actually really excited to read this because it's about a girl who, during the day, she dresses up like a man and is a pirate, and then at night, she is a surgeon as a woman, and it's about how she's managing to do both of those. So
next, I have The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, which, in all honesty, I didn't get because I plan to read it soon, although I have heard good things about it. I mostly got it because I wanted to own it, and it's really pretty and hardcover, and it was really cheap, and that's just not a good way to buy books. But regardless, I'm the proud owner of The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon now.
So this book was a gift from my little sister for Christmas. It's called Blind by Rachel DeWoskin, and it's about a teenager who is blinded in an accident with a firework and how she has to deal with that. And it's really good. I read it really quickly, and I highly recommend it.
Next, I have a series that Sarah and I both read a while back, actually. It's another thing that was on Book Outlet, and they were pretty, and I liked it enough to own it, honestly. So it is the Wings series by Aprilynne Pike. I have Wings, Spells, Illusions, and Destined.
So I've been wanting to read this book for a long time because I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's called Wonder by R.J. Palacio. It's about a little boy whose he has facial deformities from when he was born, and he's bullied because of it, and it's about him going to school for the first time. I've started it, but I haven't finished it, so we'll see how it turns out.
Next, I have Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. This is obviously a used copy. My dad and I just went to a used bookstore, and he said I could pick something out and he would buy it for me. So I got another Charles Dickens book because the best selection they had was of classics. Oh, there's a receipt coming out of there. Look at that. Yeah, and I just wanted another book by Charles Dickens.
These are the two sequels of Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes, which I read a couple years ago when the sequels weren't out, so I just waited for them both to be out to buy them, so I'm gonna read these eventually. The first book, it's separated into like 4 or 5 different point of views, all set in a high fantasy world, and it's about assassins and a war, and it's really complicated, and interesting to see how all of the storylines intertwine.
Next I have Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. I have heard good things about this. It was on Book Outlet. It was pretty cheap. I might save it for a Halloween read for next year. Honestly, I don't do zombies very often, but I figured I would make an exception for this one.
These are the 2 sequels to The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I am in the middle of Never Fade, and I really enjoy this dystopian series. I feel like I got a little bit sick of dystopians when they were super popular, but this one is very dark.
And to end this book haul on the most perfect note, I picked up City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, which is the first Shadowhunters novel. It was just the only one that I didn't own, so I figured I would have to buy it to complete the series. And then the Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare and Maureen Johnson and Sarah Reese Brennan. I've read the first couple of stories and I'm kind of like saving the rest of them because the Shadowhunter books are some of my all-time favorite books, and I'm not going to get another one until 2016. That's when Lady Midnight releases. So I'm making Magnus Bane's stories last for as long as possible. Like, I might be reading these for until 2016. We'll see. But yeah, the 2 I've read are really pretty good so far, and I just love Magnus. So I think that's it for our winter book haul. If you want to find us some other places on the internet, you can look down there and subscribe if you want to, and we will see you guys soon. Bye! And next time I won't suck so much about editing and posting videos.